Third World Press wasn't around then, no. And Broadside, I gave them, sent them some work, and they sent it back to me. So I thought, well, okay, you know, these are black presses, and I didn't get support from that press. Third World wasn't around. And so I had the support of, again, Percy Johnston, who told me that it would be a long wait for me because I had to cut through the 60s and the kinds of literature that was coming out then. He said, but I want you to stay where you are. I want you to stay with your vision, because it's an incredible vision, and you will eventually see it happen. So I took his advice. He was very helpful. I don't know how I got in touch with Paul Bremen, except that I remember I sent him a manuscript, and he sent the whole manuscript back, and he said, no, I was in London, and I met him in London. How I did that, I don't know how I got the contact, but I met him, and I talked with him, and he said, well, if you send me a manuscript, I'll see what I can do. I sent him this manuscript, and it must have been at least 50, 60 poems in a big, thick manuscript. He sent word back with the manuscript, if you can get together a manuscript that I can put together as an editor and for a small chapbook, I will print your work. And I learned something there, so I did, and he printed me. I was the last of the series in the Heritage series that he did. Now, I have been in touch with him ever since. This happened in the 70s. He and I have been good friends ever since, and he writes me occasionally. He sends me copies of the book that he still has. He's gone out of business in the business of publishing. He stopped doing it. But he told me in a letter that he was, when he first saw my work on the back of that book, he has a statement that he liked my vision rather than my verse. And I never said anything about that. He was the publisher and editor. That was his right to feel that way about my work. But he did publish me. And this year, he sent me one of the most incredible letters I've ever gotten from a publisher. He had seen Why the Woman is Singing on the Corner, and he had read it, he said, several times, and he said, Dolores, I remember what I said about your first book. I take it all back. He said, you are really an incredible poet. And he paid me a great compliment, and I am still in touch with him. I'm still in touch with what Paul is doing.